Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Wednesday night Dynamite or Dynamite. I am Jim Ross here with Trini Kwan and with Wade Barrett. And today on Dynamite we're gonna have the Heavenly Gift Giver, Father Yule, Holy Fellow Nicholas. Ho ho ho! Wanna wish everyone a happy Yule. Well, the gathering of lights is now over. For all you Jewish folk, happy gathering of lights to you all for those 8 wonderful days you had. And now we're on to Yule now. But we're not really at Yule yet. Yule doesn't come until the 25th. The truth was Jesus was born on the 24th. So really his birthday would be the day before. Well, the night or evening of. Anyway, I come here today to tell everyone that everyone has been good. That everyone's been good. Now, we can't be sinless and we can't be flawless, unlike God and unlike Jesus. But God so loved the world so much, God gave us His only Son. His only Son, who was sinless, who was flawless, who took on those sins, who died for us, so we could be cleaned of those sins, so we could be free of those sins, so we could have forever life. Since God loved us so much and forgave us so much for that, God was willing to do all that. And at the end of the day, that is why I give out gifts on every Yule. Why I gives out gifts on the Gathering of Lights, which goes for about 8 days. The why I give out gifts in the Gathering of Followership, it goes on for 8 days. I give out gifts to show onlook to God and Jesus, for God giving Jesus to us as a gift. That's why I do it. And I don't really think anyone cares about you giving out gifts. Yes, they do care about Jesus. He's the true meaning, the true ground, the true sake of this holiday or holy day. But you're not. You don't have... Ow! Wakefulness. You have nothing to do with Yule. You had nothing to do with the Gathering of Lights. You have nothing to do with the Gathering of Followership. The only grounds to why you ever had anything to do with Yule was that a lot of folks out there who are unbelievers and non-believers who felt that their worship was not being onlooked by having Jesus around, picked you and then somehow took you and started giving you all this witchcraft. Oh, sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, knows you've been bad or good. And that wasn't good enough, right? Then they gave you reindeer, flying reindeer on the sleigh to get you from land to land. Then, on top of that, since you were made up, that you were not a follower, fellow of worship, the other folks out there the other folks from the other worships out there wouldn't get mad or angry at seeing you because you were made up. So it wouldn't make them mad. So when you think of it, Santa Claus, you only got Yule out of a need for all the Christendom folk out there who worship and onlook and believe in Jesus as a Son of God. But they had to put you in there so the other folks from the other worships out there wouldn't get irked and mad and then say, my worship's not being onlooked because I see Jesus at the Thanksgiving Day walk, or I see Jesus at the Yule Day walk, or I see Jesus at the Easter Day walks. You know? Or that. And that's why you're on Coca-Cola cans. That's why folks wear your hats. That's why there are songs and films and plays and books written and filmed about you. and not Jesus. Because, oh no. First off, Bobby Lashley, if you're coming out here to say that I took you away from Jesus, you will always be Jesus' birthday. No one will ever take that away from Jesus. Not me, not anyone. At the end of the day, I know Jesus, the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Kaiser, the Earl of Earls. I know that He is the true grounds for you. And I worship Him and onlook Him and love Him with all my heart. So Bobby Lashley, you can never come out here and scathe me and say that I took you away from Jesus, because I never did. Hey, that's Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, the Force Setter to TWF. First off, Bobby Lashley, did you really come out here just to bully and scathe and shame Santa Claus? Or do you have you got a true ground sacred why for being out here? So, it's the Force Sitter. Well, I told you that I feel shamed. I feel shamed that I'm not in the TWF heavyweight winnings match, the one that Seth Rollins and Velasquez and Kevin Owens got themselves into. I should be fighting Big E Langston, not them. Yeah, Bobby Lashley, the world's not fair. And if it was a fair world, I would put you on it. But my hands are already tied. The champion, the winnings team already picked those folks to be in it. What winnings team? It was just you and Astronomer had a talk and you didn't want me in it. Bobby Lashley, for the last time, you fought Big E Langston way back on November the 1st of last year. And you lost to Big E Langston. So unless you want to fight him again, put in the time, put in the work, and then the winnings team, the oversight team, will think about it. Yeah, I'm sure you and Astronomer probably had talks about how you were oh, well, how can we shame Bobby Lashley, you know? Didn't have talks about that. Hold on here, Santa Claus says. Bobby Lashley, the way you're behaving, you're gonna be on you're on the bad list for bad behavior. You heard Triple H, you heard Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You put in the time, put in the work. By the way, I just want to say thank you, Santa Claus, for coming here today. Forgive me for once again. I'm so sorry for this shameful behavior of Bobby Lashley. It's all right, Triple H. It's all right, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Oh, but you know what? You want that so much? I'll give you. Hey, tell him I'll fight Bobby Lashley again here today on Dynamite. All right. So you get one more seat with Bobby Lashley. You get one more seat with Big E Langston for the TWF heavyweight winnings. Take it or leave it, Bobby Lashley. If you lose, you go to back of the stake. Well, we just heard from Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Force Setter, the TWF, telling Bobby Lashley this is his last seek, and if he doesn't win, he's going to back of the line, Jim Ross said. Well, that's what I heard too, Trini Kwan said, coming out here, bitching and shaming and scathing Santa Claus, bitching and sobbing to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Trini Kwan said, get it in the ring. No! Big E Langston, Bobby Lashley is right. He should be the TWF heavyweight fighter, Wade Barrett said. He's going to go back of the line. This is for the TWF heavyweight winnings. First, he is Bobby Lashley. First, he is Bobby Lashley. And he is the TWF heavyweight fighter, Biggie Langston. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see what happens. Bobby Lashley taking down Biggie Langston. Here we go. A body slam. Bobby Lashley wants to put the Lashley lock or the ache lock on Biggie Langston. He wants to become the TWF heavyweight fighter, Jim Ross said. Well, no one's broken the Lashley lock or the ache lock or whatever you call it, Wade Barrett said. I don't think Biggie Langston can. And he's probably been in a lot longer than most folks, would think. But soon he's going to lose. Trini Kwan said, I'll give Bobby Lashley some thanks. He is a 4-time IW heavyweight fighter. He is a former WWE heavyweight fighter. But at the end of the day, his behavior is sad. Wait a minute, Biggie Langston got out of it. He just body slammed it. Bobby Lashley. He got himself out of the Lashley lock or the ache lock. Here it comes. Big ending to Bobby Lashley. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner and still the TWF heavyweight fighter, Biggie Langston. And Biggie Langston is still the TWF heavyweight fighter, Jim Ross says, right here on Dynamite. Or Wednesday Night Dynamite, as it's also been called. But that's something that TNT calls it. I don't think it's something that AEW calls it themselves. I don't have any truth to back that up, though. Wade Barrett said, that's sad that Biggie Langston beat Bobby Lashley, and he's still the TWF heavyweight fighter. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Wade Barrett said, that is sad. You want to know what's sad, Trini Kwan said? Is that Bobby Lashley had 2 seeks. He couldn't get it done. Now he's going to back in the line. And it is what it is, Trini Kwan says. Well, you're right about that, Jim Ross says. And I understand, Jim Ross says. And I understand, Jim Ross says, that Gorilla Monsoon now is now going to be talking. Is now going to be talking with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the 4-setter, before we go. Alright. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, the 4-sitter of the TWF. And I must say, we didn't think you'd show up here on Dynamite or Wednesday Night Dynamite. Well, I'll tell you what, Hunter Hearst Helmsley said, I did show up. So, is it true? Is Bobby Lashley going to be put into that fight? No. Bobby Lashley is going to back of the stake, as I said, Gorilla Monsoon. I told him he had one more seek to beat Biggie Langston. He lost. He goes to the back of the stake. Biggie Langston is still fighting Seth Rollins, Belasca, and Kevin Owens for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And when is that going to happen? Well, I would think sometime next year. Since we only have so much time, I would think sometime next year. But until then, it's going to be the 4-way as it was already set up. And if Bobby Lashley doesn't like that, Gorilla Monsoon, then at the end of the day, the only one he can guilt is himself. I'll tell you one other thing he can guilt at the end of the day. He only guilts himself. Wow, Gorilla Monsoon says, good to see you here today on Dynamite or Strength for Might. Well, it's good to see you too. Well, that was my talk with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the 4-setter to TWF. Back to you, Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with Hunter Hearst Helmsley here on Dynamite, or Wednesday Night Dynamite, if there's any truth in calling it, I don't know. Well, it looks like it is all the time we got here. It looks like it is all the time we got here for Dynamite, or Wednesday Night Dynamite. I am Jim Ross for Trini Kwan and Wade Barrett. We hope you liked Dynamite or Strength for Might, and we'll see you tomorrow for Impact.